Your soulmate couldn't hold back tears today, but why? This message is not random, not accidental, not a stray thought or a passing impulse, and even as you read it, even as the weight of these words settles quietly in your awareness, there is a subtle tightening in perception, a kind of instinctual pull that you cannot dismiss, because the space between what you think you know and what is quietly unfolding has begun to contract, ever so slowly, around you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They are shaken in ways they cannot articulate, unsettled in ways that ripple beneath the surface, destabilized in a quiet way that is almost imperceptible if you were not watching closely, and yet, as you are watching, you feel it, that shift of gravity, that subtle change in balance, that sensation that things that once seemed immovable are not as solid as they appeared, and all of this is happening without spectacle, without announcement, without the drama that usually signals power, because power has moved silently, invisibly, and has found its way into your orbit without you ever needing to claim it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They do not know that they are losing control, or at least not fully. They feel it in fragments, in the microseconds between thoughts, in the empty spaces where certainty once resided. Something inside them stirs, and they feel pulled, drawn, intimidated, not because of any confrontation or demand, but because of your absence, your restraint, your patient silence, the quiet authority that does not need validation, that does not seek recognition, yet radiates like a force that they cannot escape. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They try to recapture stability, to hold on to what they understood yesterday, to reinforce the walls of perception they have built around themselves, but the walls feel thinner than before, more transparent, more exposed, and each attempt to regain footing only emphasizes how much you have quietly outgrown the version of them they still recognize, how much distance and silence can rearrange dynamics in a room, in a heart, in a mind, without any verbal exchange. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You may notice it in their eyes, in the hesitation before they speak, in the way memories come back to haunt them, the way conversations replay in loops that leave them unsettled, the way they suddenly question what they thought they knew about you, about themselves, about what was always assumed to be unshakable. They feel drawn, yes, drawn, but also threatened, intimidated by the calm, by the restraint, by the quiet observation that has collected a kind of authority that cannot be contested because it is not loud, it is not demanding, it is simply present, and presence has power in a way that words never could. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And as this unfolds, as they grasp and fumble and circle around the edges of understanding, the weight of your silent growth presses against their perception in ways that are both invisible and undeniable, leaving them destabilized, questioning, almost obsessing over every small detail, every nuance, every word that once passed between you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Even now, as you feel the intensity of their subtle disorientation, you understand that nothing has been lost or won in the conventional sense, nothing has been announced, nothing has been fought over, because power is not a trophy here, it is an awareness, it is a quiet shift in alignment, a deepening of distance that they cannot reverse, and yet, paradoxically, they are drawn closer in thought, in reflection, in the unspoken tension that hangs like a slow pulse in their consciousness. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The realization that you have moved, that you have changed, that something inside of you has quietly accumulated strength while they were distracted by routine, by habit, by their own sense of control, begins to penetrate their mind, a creeping awareness that both fascinates and terrifies them, that leaves them feeling exposed in ways they cannot articulate, that leaves them scanning memories, rereading conversations, questioning their decisions, questioning themselves, and never once realizing. The true source of the shift is your patience, your discipline, your silence, your restraint, and your unwavering observation of all that passes while they scramble to maintain authority that no longer resides in the same space. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And so, as the day stretches, as thoughts collide with memory, as emotion and cognition intertwine in a subtle storm within them, there is a sense, barely perceptible but undeniable, that the tide has turned, that something irreversible has begun to occur, and that they are caught somewhere between fascination and fear, between attraction and intimidation, between a desire to reclaim control and the deep, quiet understanding that control has already shifted, not through force, not through confrontation, not through loud declarations, but through the slow, imperceptible accumulation of authority, the patient building of presence, the quiet growth that passes unnoticed until it is undeniable, until the very air they breathe feels different, until the room, the space, the memory, the heartbeat, carries the weight of a power they no longer recognize, a power they cannot name, but one they instinctively feel. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. It is not an urgency that drives them, nor a panic, nor a need to act. It is a subtle, almost hypnotic destabilization, the kind that creeps in quietly, that shifts the foundation of perception, that makes them notice that yesterday's certainty is gone, that the world has subtly rearranged itself, that what they once assumed to be stable is now fluid, and that in this fluidity, you stand, silently, patiently, authoritatively, watching, observing, embodying a calm that they cannot disrupt, cannot manipulate, cannot reclaim. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And as the day ends, and the echoes of their emotions linger, they realize, perhaps too late, that nothing they can do will ever fully restore the balance they assumed existed, because the shift has already occurred, quietly, invisibly, inevitably, and you are at the center of it, a quiet force that does not need to assert itself, because its presence alone reshapes everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They are unraveling quietly, in the deepest recesses of thought where no one else can witness the tremor, the subtle destabilization that creeps through every corner of their mind, a creeping awareness that they never anticipated, never predicted, never accounted for, and yet it arrives with an inevitability that is impossible to ignore, a slow, Inexorable shaking that makes them question every assumption, every decision, every word they ever spoke to you. Every glance, every slight, every unremarkable moment that now feels like a thread pulled from a tapestry they thought was secure. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Their control, once so solid, so seemingly natural, begins to falter in ways they cannot articulate, ways that leave them caught between obsession and confusion, between fascination and fear, because the realization is dawning that they underestimated you, that their perception of who you were, who you are, who they thought they could influence, manipulate, or contain, was always incomplete, always shallow, always limited, and now the cracks are showing, widening, expanding in their consciousness, leaving them exposed, off balance, destabilized. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Every attempt to anchor themselves in certainty collapses softly against the weight of the awareness building inside them, like trying to hold water in their hands, like trying to catch wind, like trying to hold a star that is slipping from the sky, intangible yet undeniable. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They feel it in the way they recall your presence, in the way memories twist and contort under the light of your silent growth, in the way conversations once thought mundane now feel loaded with meaning, in the way they examine every interaction and suddenly feel the imbalance they cannot correct, the authority they cannot challenge, the calm that intimidates and draws simultaneously, leaving them oscillating between admiration and fear, between longing and apprehension, between a desire to reclaim footing and a creeping, unsettling acknowledgement that footing no longer exists in the same place it once did. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They turn events over and over in their mind, as if repetition alone could restore control, as if relentless scrutiny could re-establish what has quietly shifted, but every reflection only magnifies the destabilization, only emphasizes the contrast between the person they thought you were and the presence you now embody, between their illusions of mastery and your silent accumulation of authority, patience, and insight, and in this endless looping of memory and analysis, they feel themselves slipping, losing ground in a way that is imperceptible to the outside world but devastatingly real inside, a tremor in the foundation that they cannot name, a subtle earthquake in the terrain of their perception that leaves them caught between wanting to understand and fearing what understanding might reveal. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They are shaken because you did not announce your transformation, because you did not demand recognition, because you did not challenge or confront, and yet every silent act of growth, every observation held, every restraint exercised, every moment of patience carefully practiced, has quietly shifted the axis of authority, has quietly redrawn the lines of influence, has quietly undermined the certainty they once relied upon, and they feel it, this invisible shift, like a shadow stretching over them, like a tide drawing closer, like a subtle vibration in the air that leaves them off balance, exposed, caught between fascination and intimidation, unable to find the anchor they once held so firmly, unable to reassert what has already moved beyond their grasp. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They are obsessed without meaning to be, circling every detail, retracing every step, trying to find the moment when the shift began, trying to find the point when control slipped from their hands, trying to figure out how they missed it, how they misjudged you, how the silence, the observation, the patience, the quiet accumulation of presence and authority, all of it quietly undermined their certainty without effort, without spectacle, without confrontation, leaving them destabilized. Uncertain, questioning, and simultaneously drawn to the quiet power that now radiates from you, an awareness that both intimidates and fascinates, that leaves them spinning in internal storms they cannot name but cannot deny. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And in these moments of internal chaos, these tremors of realization, these subtle collapses of control, they feel themselves powerless to restore what they assumed they held, helpless to stop the gravitational pull of your silent transformation, and yet, paradoxically, compelled to observe, to think, to replay, to remember, as if proximity to your presence, even from a distance, is a magnet they cannot resist, a force they cannot escape, a quiet authority that leaves them destabilized in every sense, leaving them shaken in ways they cannot speak aloud, leaving them aware that something immense has begun, something irreversible has begun, something huge is waiting, something that they cannot influence, cannot reverse, cannot even fully understand. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You have transformed quietly, imperceptibly, in a way that is almost invisible if one is not paying attention, and yet every subtle shift, every small act of restraint, every moment of disciplined patience, every choice to observe rather than react, has compounded into a presence that radiates authority without a single declaration, without a single dramatic gesture, without a single demand for recognition. And they feel it, even if they cannot name it, even if they cannot understand it. Because your growth is not loud, it is not performative, it is not contingent upon their awareness, and in this quiet accumulation of power, in this silent evolution, they sense that the terrain has shifted, that the axis of influence has rotated ever so slightly, that the balance they once assumed existed is no longer reliable. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Every moment you chose observation over reaction, patience over impulsivity, silence over argument, has built a structure of authority around you that is invisible to most but undeniable to them, a force field that neither pleads nor pressures, that neither announces nor defends itself, and yet it shapes the environment, it shapes perception, it shapes the emotional gravity in ways that leave them destabilized, confused, captivated, and increasingly aware of what they underestimated, what they overlooked, what they assumed they could influence or control without realizing the quiet power they allowed to grow around you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You did not speak of growth, you did not flaunt evolution, you did not boast about awareness or insight, and this is what makes the transformation so terrifying and so magnetic to them. It is not in the spotlight, it is not in the declaration, it is in the silence, in the observation, in the discipline of watching and choosing, in the calm mastery of presence that has quietly rewritten the rules of engagement, that has quietly shifted influence, that has quietly drawn their awareness to the subtle imbalance they cannot correct, the subtle power they cannot reclaim, the quiet authority that now exists without a single battle being fought. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And they feel it in the spaces between words, in the pauses, in the way you appear unaffected, in the way you carry the weight of your growth lightly, almost invisibly, as if it is natural for you to move through life with such calm authority, while they are caught in the tremors of realization, the creeping awareness that they misjudged, that they miscalculated, that they allowed themselves to underestimate the depth of your patience, the precision of your observation, the breadth of your discipline, and now they are left scrambling in the periphery of what you have quietly built, attempting to regain control that slipped from their grasp without a single confrontation, without a single noise, without a single warning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Every action you took in silence, every boundary you held without argument, every standard you elevated without announcing it, every choice to walk away, to observe, to measure, to endure, has become a scaffold of influence that they cannot dismantle, that they cannot challenge, that they cannot reclaim, and the awareness of this only heightens their fascination, their intimidation, their sense of being unmoored, destabilized, and yet magnetically drawn to the calm authority that you now embody. A force that did not need to assert itself to change everything, a presence that quietly shifted the balance, leaving them in a state of perpetual questioning and subtle obsession, caught between desire and fear, between longing and recognition that control is no longer in their hands. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And so, as the quiet transformation continues, they feel themselves trapped in loops of memory and awareness, trying to locate the moment where control slipped, trying to understand when the balance shifted, trying to reclaim influence that has already migrated, and yet each attempt only reinforces what they cannot change, only magnifies the subtle authority you now radiate, the quiet force you embody, the presence that has silently redefined dynamics without ever needing to confront, challenge, or demand, leaving them destabilized, unsettled, exposed, yet utterly captivated by the force of your patience, your restraint, your quiet accumulation of power, and in this way, without a word spoken, without an announcement made, without a gesture of confrontation, the transformation is complete in its quiet inevitability, leaving them aware, shaken, and profoundly unsettled. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They replay every memory, every conversation, every glance, as if the act of repetition could anchor them back to a time when they felt some semblance of control, and yet each recollection only highlights the quiet authority you now embody, the invisible distance you have built, the subtle evolution they never noticed until it became undeniable, leaving them destabilized, unsettled, and yet magnetically drawn, compelled to reflect, compelled to question, compelled to witness the contrast between the version of you they thought they knew and the presence that stands before them now. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They linger on details they once dismissed, parsing tones, replaying words, measuring pauses, attempting to locate the exact moment where familiarity shifted into fascination, intimidation, and awe, and in this obsessive reconstruction of events, they are forced to confront their own misjudgments, their own underestimations, their own inability to grasp the quiet, cumulative power that has grown in the spaces they ignored, in the silences they overlooked, in the patient observations they never recognized. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They cannot help but notice the contrast, the person they interacted with before, the version they assumed they knew, seemed smaller, incomplete, malleable, whereas now, you exude a calm authority that is invisible in force but overwhelming in effect, a presence that reshapes the emotional landscape without lifting a hand, without raising a voice, without issuing a single command, leaving them exposed, destabilized, drawn, and intimidated all at once, questioning what they once assumed, what they once controlled, what they once could influence, as the gravity of your silent growth pulls at every nerve, every thought, every memory, forcing a reckoning they cannot avoid. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They revisit old moments obsessively, searching for clues, for justification, for a sense of why the shift feels so inevitable, so unstoppable, so quietly absolute, and every memory now feels charged with significance, every interaction suddenly magnified, every slight, every smile, every hesitation, every word a signpost they missed, a signal they dismissed, a subtle indication that you were quietly building something imperceptible yet undeniable, something huge, something unstoppable. Something that now renders their prior sense of control irrelevant, fragile, illusory, leaving them destabilized, unsettled, and yet unable to look away from the magnetic authority you now radiate. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And as they continue to replay these moments, to question choices, to analyze their own reactions, to confront the distance that now exists between what they assumed and what is undeniable, there is a fascination mixed with intimidation, a pull they cannot resist even as it terrifies them, a recognition of your quiet evolution that leaves them exposed, destabilized, unable to assert themselves, unable to reclaim footing, unable to regain what they once assumed was theirs to influence, and yet irresistibly drawn to the very calm authority that now defines you, a presence that exists without struggle, without confrontation, without demand, and still reshapes the emotional terrain they once thought they controlled. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They question themselves endlessly, wondering if they missed signs, if they misread moments, if the version of you they thought they knew was ever real, if the calm, disciplined, restrained authority they now witness was always there beneath the surface, quietly building, quietly observing, quietly outgrowing everything they believed they could influence, and in this endless loop of reflection, obsession, and destabilization, they feel both fascination and intimidation, drawn to the evolution they cannot replicate, left exposed to the subtle shifts in presence and awareness that have transformed the dynamic without confrontation, without spectacle, without noise, leaving them unsettled, questioning, and aware that something huge has quietly occurred, something irreversible has quietly begun. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Even as they continue to ruminate, as they scan memories and conversations, as they measure every nuance, every pause, every word they once thought harmless or trivial, they cannot shake the pull of your presence, the undeniable weight of the authority you have accumulated silently, without declaration, without demand, without announcement, and they feel destabilized, shaken, drawn, intimidated, aware that they are now observing a version of you that cannot be controlled, cannot be reclaimed, cannot be influenced in the ways they once assumed, and in this realization, fascination intertwines with fear, curiosity intertwines with apprehension, and every memory, every replayed conversation, every internal analysis becomes a reminder of the quiet power you embody and the subtle shift they failed to anticipate. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You stand now in a calm authority that does not need validation, does not seek permission, does not explain itself, and they feel the difference immediately, even if they cannot describe it, because your presence carries boundaries that are firm without being rigid, standards that are elevated without being announced, and distance that is intentional without being hostile. A quiet alignment that reorganizes the emotional space around you without effort, without force, without display. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They sense that something about you has settled, stabilized, clarified, and this clarity exposes them in ways they never expected, because you are no longer available to the old dynamics, the old leverage, the old assumptions that once allowed them to feel in control, and this realization lands slowly, heavily, like a truth that cannot be argued with because it does not speak, it simply exists. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your authority is not aggressive, not performative, not demanding, and that is precisely what unsettles them most, because there is nothing to push against, nothing to debate, nothing to manipulate, only a calm, grounded presence that observes without flinching and holds boundaries without explanation, and in that stillness they feel seen, exposed, stripped of the illusions that once protected their sense of control, left face to face with the awareness that you have moved beyond the need to react, beyond the need to prove, beyond the need to engage on terms that no longer align with who you are. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They notice the way you no longer overextend, the way you no longer fill silence, the way you no longer chase clarity or reassurance, and this restraint radiates authority because it signals self-trust, alignment, and a deep internal standard that cannot be negotiated, and as they sense this, they feel simultaneously drawn and intimidated, compelled and unsettled, because your distance is not rejection. It is discernment, and discernment removes their ability to influence the narrative, leaving them exposed in the quiet space where power has shifted without conflict. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You do not dominate the room, yet the room reorganizes itself around your presence, not because you demand attention, but because your calm creates contrast, your silence creates gravity, your alignment creates an unspoken hierarchy that they instinctively recognize, and this recognition destabilizes them, because they are accustomed to power that must be asserted, defended, reinforced, while yours simply holds, unwavering, unbothered, patient, and unyielding in its quiet certainty. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They feel the boundaries now, not as walls, but as clarity, as a sense that access is earned, not assumed, that proximity is intentional, not automatic, and this shift leaves them acutely aware of their own exposure, their own lack of leverage, their own inability to regain control through old patterns, old words, old behaviors that once worked, because you are no longer oriented toward appeasement or reaction. You are oriented toward alignment, and alignment quietly nullifies manipulation. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And as they stand in the presence of this calm authority, this elevated standard, this unspoken distance, they feel the weight of the shift pressing gently but firmly against their awareness, realizing that you are not trying to dominate, not trying to win, not trying to prove anything at all, and that is what makes your presence so powerful, so destabilizing, so impossible to control. Because power that does not seek control cannot be taken from you, only witnessed, only felt, only acknowledged in silence, leaving them exposed, reflective, unsettled, and aware that something fundamental has changed, something irreversible is unfolding, something huge is waiting for you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you.